Goes to Waleed Ali.
That's all we have time for. Thank you very much. Good night. Do not adjust your sets. There's nothing wrong with the picture. If you're in the room, I'm sure there's an Instagram filter you can use to return things to normal. It'll be fine. This is happening. It's true. Finally, a male presenter on commercial TV has won the Gold Logie. I probably should up front apologise to my kids, my daughter, but especially my son, because I'm pretty sure he was barracking for Grant Denyer tonight. And it was hard work because I had to stop him voting, right? And I mean, the only argument I could really come up with was that he wasn't yet voting age. You can't vote until you're old enough to have an unrequited crush on a home and away star or something like that, and it seemed to work. So thank him for abstaining. Before I get stuck in earnest, I think it's really, really important to acknowledge, actually I want you all to celebrate the extraordinary talents and the contributions and the achievements of my fellow nominees tonight. Because, they're genuinely a remarkable field, and it only struck me the other day when I turned my mind to it, and the thing that struck me about it was that each nominee brilliantly distills some separate piece of Australia. And I think it's an amazing thing. I think it's a fantastic thing that can be assembled on this night in this way. And I'd encourage you to think about that, because if you step back and look at all those pieces assembled, it is a truly spectacular mosaic, and we should really be celebrating that fact. So, congratulations to them for everything they've achieved and everything they're going to go on to achieve, and please know that in no way do I feel that I deserve to be here any more than any one of you. And thank you for being part of the class of 2016 with me, because it's been fantastic to be associated with you. I want to do my best to keep this as brief as I can, because everyone at home wants to go to sleep. Everyone in this room has a night that is about to begin, and I know you're all keen to get into some stuff, and no, I mean your first carbohydrate in 6 months or something, not anything like that. So So I'm not going to do a huge roll call of thanks, although I would, because I did mention before, I do want to thank my agents, particularly Michael and especially Jacinta, who has so many, I'm sure, heated arguments with people, and I don't even know they're happening, just so I can get about my job. And it's fantastic to have someone in your corner like that. It makes a huge difference, and thank you for being so entertaining when you're doing it. And I do also want to thank one more time my wife, Susan. Yeah. There's only one more thing I want to say. There's a lot more I could say about Susan, but the reality is, and this is just a dirty little secret I've carried around for a long time, but if she had my job, she'd be better at it than me. She is sharper, she's wittier, she's funnier, she's infinitely more charming and likeable. And I'm really glad she doesn't have my job, because otherwise I definitely wouldn't have it. But the reason she doesn't is because she has bigger, more important things to do. And everyone who knows her knows that she changes you and she makes you better. And she's done that in her work, she's done that in her community work. And they don't give statuettes to people like that, sadly. But one day, if life's fair, they might just give her a statue. I think it's fair to say that I never anticipated I would win a Logie. Not in a sort of, I thought I'd fall short kind of way or anything like that. But no, this was not even, I couldn't conceive of this happening. I was more likely to win an AFL Grand Final in my mind than to win a Logie, and I'm still hoping for that. So that means I'm a little bit gobsmacked, but I'm hugely appreciative that the audience has decided to throw me a bouquet in this way on this night. And I know it's temporary. I know I will probably never be here again. And I know that one day, probably very soon, I'll merely be the answer to some obscure trivia question, or if I'm really, really lucky, like the subject of one of those Where Are They Now specials that gets shown on Sunday afternoon, is it? That's when they're shown, definitely non-ratings period. If I'm really lucky, that's what will happen. But tonight, to know that when you've just started a new gig, and I'm the work experience kid, like I've been here 5 minutes, but when you've just started a new gig, to know that the audience has accepted you into their universe is the most wonderful feeling in the world. And I do not take that for granted, and I want everybody in this room to know that. I know this is a really important point, I also know that every individual award, whether it be a Brownlow or a Dally M or an award like this, is misleading. Every individual award tells a lie of some sort, because it's really about the people that gather around you that deliver these awards to you, and I'm incredibly blessed to be surrounded by so many of those people. So I'm happy to accept this award, but I accept it on behalf of our show. A show that is not afraid to make mistakes by going after something that might be a bit risky or trying to tell a boring story in a more interesting way. And it's the mistakes that I actually cherish probably more than anything else. I am not going to tell you what they are, but I definitely cherish them. I think that's what makes our show our show. And I think it is no coincidence that both Carrie and I were nominated tonight. I think it is no coincidence that our show has been represented on this spot in this way for 2 years in a row. And the reason that that is the case, I think, is because this is a show that lands not merely on people's television screens, but it lands in people's hearts. And I can't claim credit for that, but I'm hugely proud of it. And finally, I want to claim this award on behalf of actually a couple of people. People like this guy called Dimitri, who none of you will know. There's a guy who just came up to me about a week ago, and he did something that most people don't do. He didn't come up to me and wish me good luck for tonight. He came up to me and through gritted teeth commanded me to claim this award tonight. And it was a bit scary. and I dare not cross him, so I'm glad that I could look him in the face again. But he communicated something to me, which was that this really, really mattered to him. This really meant something to him. He didn't vote, by the way. I didn't really want to point that out to him at the time. But when I think about it, although he was the most forthright of everyone who spoke to me, there have been a lot of people in the past week or two who've made it really, really clear to me that me being here right now really matters to them. And it matters to them for a particular reason, and that reason was brought home shudderingly not so long ago, actually, when someone who was in this room, and I'm not going to use the name that they use in the industry, came up to me, introduced themselves, and said to me, "I really hope you win. My name's Mustafa, but I can't use that name because I won't get a job." He's here tonight. And it matters to people like that I'm here. And I know it's not because of me. I know that. So, to Dimitri and Mustafa and everyone else with an unpronounceable name, like, I don't know, Waleed, I really just want to say one thing, and that is that I'm incredibly humbled that you would even think to invest in me in that way, but I'm also incredibly saddened by it, because the truth is, you deserve more numerous and more worthy avatars than that. And I don't know if and when that's going to happen, but if tonight means anything, and I don't know if it means anything, but if tonight means anything, it's that the Australian public, our audience, well, as far as they're concerned, there is absolutely no reason why that can't change. Thank you very much. Good night. Have a good one. Thank you.
What a beautiful, classy, dignified speech. Ladies and gentlemen, gold Logie winner 2016, Waleed Aly. Please, a big round of applause for him. We would like to congratulate all the winners tonight, all the nominees, and thank all the presenters who've done such a fantastic job. What a great Logies, what do you reckon? Listen, someone else I'd like to thank, Claire Bowditch, who was fantastic on stage, singing for the In Memoriam segment. Please give Claire a round of applause. That was beautiful, darling. John Foreman and the orchestra, ladies and gentlemen, did a wonderful job tonight. Thank you, John. Thank you to all your wonderful musicians. Ladies and gentlemen, you can read all about it in the morning in the latest TV Week. All the details there, and we'll be ripping the night to bits tomorrow morning on the Today Show. I hope you can join us for that. Till next year, good night, Australia, and thank you for being part of the 2016 TV Week Logie Awards. Good night.